Hi. So hope so far you have been doing well, understanding things, how the basic plotting is done. Now let us enhance. Let us add some more parameters or more arguments to my data. So let's say for the timing we have taken x values, y values. Let's say we have another set of values. Okay. So x values, y values, z values. So I have three data sets with me. Okay, one data set 1, data set 2, data set 3. Data set 1 is x, data set 2 is y, data set 2 is equal to z. Okay, so now I can plot two uh, two data sets on the same in the same area. Okay, very simple. You have to simply give this command twice. Okay, so plt.plot will be used twice. In the first case, I want to take these values as my x values and these as my y values. So x and y. In the second case, I want to use these as my x values and these as my y values. So y values will be taken, y would be taken as equal to x values and z would be taken equal to as y values. And then the rest of the arguments. In the first case, I want markers to be V-shaped, color red, line style none. In the second, I can take marker O, color blue, and line style is dashed. Okay, and then I want to make the labeling part x label, y label, and the title, and then finally the plt dot show. Okay, if I want to have three plots in the same area, then I have to use plt.plot three times. So in the first case, I'll be using between x and y. So these will be taken as x values, these will be taken as y values. In the second case, I will be using y and z. So these will be taken as x values, these will be taken as y values. And in the third case, these will be taken as x values and these will be taken as y values. So three relationships I want to mention between x and y and z, and x and z. In all the three cases, if you wish, you can change the marker, you can change the colors, you can change the line style. It's totally your choice how you want to customize it, how you want to showcase it in your presentations, in your analysis to the management, how to whatever extent you want to beautify. See, the more time you spend on this, the more beautification you would be able to do. It's as simple as it is. So it's totally your patience and your thought process to what extent you want to go. As simple as it is. Okay, so let's have a quick plotting. Okay, so let me have this plot. Okay, yeah, so taken, let's go to the Jupyter notebook. So I want to draw a line plot. Okay, so Matplotlib is already there in my interface, so ideally I don't really need to import it further. So let's remove this. Okay, so x values, y values, z values. Okay, so I have used plt.plot twice because I want to plot two data sets on the same area. So let's run it. Yeah. So if you see, in this case I have mentioned the style none, so no lines are there. In this case I have mentioned dashed, so dashed lines are there. Okay, if you mention dashed here as well, so no issues, the same can be done. For example, on the same data, I use, instead of none, I give dash here as well. So sorry. Yeah, so see. Okay, this is how it is done. So we can add another argument if you wish, that is the legends are not there. So we can have uh, plt dot legend, and yeah, so the problem here is the plt. If I give the plt dot legend here, so I have to mention some labeling here. So I want to label it as, let's say, label equal to, so this is between x and y, so let's label it as xy, and this is between y and z, so let's label it as yz. Okay, So let's, instead of none, let's suppose I want to give dashed lines only, and yeah, let's run it. Yes. So here you got it. Okay. So now red is showing the movement of relationship between x and y, and the blue is showing the movement between y and z. All right. So you can make any level of customization. If you want to showcase legend, you have to mention the labeling here. Okay. So in the next case, I told you that for example, I want to have three data sets on the same figure. So I have to mention one more here, plt dot plot. So this time I want between x and z values. Okay. And let's say marker is equal to, let's say I take v again, so you can use single quote as well, not an issue. Color equal to uh, let's say, okay, and line style equal to, so matter, and label equal to, so this is between xz. Okay. So I think it's good to go. Yes. See, so easy. Okay. So this green line is showing between, between y and z. So three different plots in the same area, and you can make that comparative analysis. Now, what happens that when you plot multiple data sets in the same area, it gets too messy. Now if you see here, it has actually become too messy, right? So it's difficult to compare the movement of all the three data sets together, and that is where the subplot things come into the picture, which I explained to you in session 2 or 3. That subplot means you can draw a 2 by 2 grid, a 2 by 3 grid, and instead of plotting all the three data sets in one area, you can plot it in different areas in a same figure, so that the comparative analysis is also done and all that stuff also happens. Okay. So if suppose I want to do this, let's say let's go the plt way. Suppose I want to go with the subplots way. Okay. So this is, now I have, this will give me a 2 by 1 grid. Okay. So it's just like this one. This is a 2 by 1 grid. Okay. So every grid has its, every area has its own x-axis and the own y-axis things. All right. And now let's plot it. Okay. So let's do the plotting part. So again, now I have mentioned what axis I want. I have specifically mentioned the axis because I want the graph to be placed in different areas rather than all the data sets merged in one area. Okay. So if I do that and I run it, so now you can see. Okay. This is how it works. So this is in different area, this is in different area. The relationship between x and y is in different, the y and z is in different. And similar way you can go. So you have to mention how you want to really go ahead with the data, what type of grid you want. Okay, this is the same grid which I have showcased you here. Okay, this has come twice because I have actually mentioned this argument twice. Okay, so let me rectify it for you. So this is by mistake I have done it twice, so that is not actually a go ahead. Okay. And now, yes. Okay. So that's a 2 by 1 grid. So you can see as if it has, both have their own x-axis and both have its own y-axis. Now this is easy. All right. This is actually easy. Now both the data sets are not in one area but different area. So now you can visualize both the data sets together. You can compare them better, and that too without any messiness. All right, that's the beauty of subplotting. That's the benefit of using subplots or grids. So that's the power of using subplot. In the similar way, if you want to place three data sets, you can mention a 3 by 1 grid, so it will give you another one area there where the third data set can be plotted, and that's where subplots are very useful. So that's all for this session. We'll meet with the next topic in the next session. Till that, keep practicing.